everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Got your mouse on the play button over on Vimeo, or you're just watching the feed over here? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, unpause. And we're in.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Nice logo.
I don't like the title. I like to say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Ricky did a great job with the logo here.
Oh.
Dennis Englehard. Okay. Okay.
I'm with you so far.
Yeah. I like the color. The color is really nice.
It is interesting, the grading thing, like the old film, like it's flashed.
Right,
at
yeah,
the edges
yeah.
a little bit.
It feels a little global. I think later it's like parts where it's just sort of like, you know, just the grass
Right.
is around.
And where is
gets a
this? What
little
is this
burned.
ruin? It's a nice
This
location.
Is Germany, right?
This is going to be sort of a global note I have for all the entries. If you just kind of square up and stand and swing, it doesn't really afford you a lot of creative opportunities. Like it's better to be in your stance and moving and kind of providing some back and forth as opposed to just two guys standing in front of each other and swinging.
A very sort of basic thing that we learned in doing fights is like a very simple way to begin thinking about this if you're starting and you're just trying to be aware of your footwork, which you need to be, is be thinking about it as you're choreographing and kind of like work it out so that you have a step in some direction with every move. You should be going like back or front or, you know, advancing or retreating or moving around in some way. When you're just standing and fighting, just, you know, facing each other.
Right.
It's, you know.
And again, that's more of a global note than necessarily just this one. But
Right.
Yeah.
But we are seeing this here. So
Yeah,
it's
an important thing to think about is that footwork, even though it's not as visible and a lot of times you're not even framing your feet, but footwork is as important a part of the choreography as what your hands are doing at any given time.
It comes down to body mechanics because you need your center of gravity to and you know how your weight distribution will inform the kind of strikes you take. It may not seem like they're connected, but they absolutely are. The other thing I was going to say, another global kind of note is intention. There's a lot of stick bashing and at times, and I want to see the saber come directly for a target, and it has to be blocked, or else it's going to connect. We need to see that intention of targeting there.
This, by the way, at the end, that whole once they're stabbed and they drop the saber into the other hand and then spin around and then cut through. I feel like I've seen that somewhere before. Maybe someone in the chat room remembers like a previous contest or something.
Yeah, we should actually say something not global about this particular one.
So we've reached the end of the first entry. How are you guys feeling about the choreography in particular, but about the whole entry itself?
For me, it's like we were talking about. I feel like, in large part because, I mean, they did move around a little bit, but for the most part, it was very locked off right in front of each other, and it just felt very, what I've said in previous years is left, right, up, down. It's like it's just kind of the same 4 moves over and over again.
Very basic, like stage combat.
Exactly, exactly. Which is as we'll talk about with a few other ones. It's fine if you can perform it with good energy and it looks good for stage combat.
Right.
But as a choreography element, I don't think that it's a lot of choreography. It's the basics, and
Right.
and if you're entering a choreography contest, I think you need to go beyond the basics.
Eddie, agree?
But yeah, absolutely. I'm like I said, if I think I mentioned this last night when we were watching some of these. In a real fight, if you ever watch a real fight, if two guys stand very close to each other and just swing, the fight's over very quickly. And I think you just need movement, you need a little bit of distance. Range is incredibly important with choreography. You really want to know that, and understanding that a lightsaber it's a touch weapon and it's a kill weapon. If it touches you, you're going to die. So targeting, intentional things like that is important. I would have liked to have seen a bit more progression and a bit more movement from this one.
Next time, by the way, after we finish an entry, go ahead and start the next one up so you've got the buffer going.
We're going in the order that
we're going in the order. We're going straight down Vimeo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the next page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff. Brian, Trey, any thoughts on that one?
Oh, obviously, I know we don't know choreography as well as you guys are like, yeah. But
you're the film guys.
yeah.
But yeah, from a film perspective,
Yeah,
it's
from
hard
a
to
film.
notice.
In that regard, I like the fact that it was short and sweet. Whenever, and I mean, genuinely,
they
sincerely.
didn't overstay their welcome too much.
Exactly, and it's anything that you make should only be long enough to tell whatever point you're trying to tell. And if it feels too long, it probably is.
Right.
And, as Shakespeare said, brevity is the soul of wit. And as somebody said it better, brevity is wit. So the shorter you can be,
Take
the
that,
better.
Shakespeare.
That's clever. I like that. Trey, any thoughts?
I give I know it doesn't count in the real voting, but I like this one because I thought it was nicely made. I thought there was a better than average filmmaking skill.
Yes.
On display here, and bonus points for finding a cool location. Just made it had a very interesting background to it. I thought that was nice. But you even I as a layman as far as fighting, I can see what you guys are talking about. I do recognize that. And maybe we can talk. I'm very curious as fight choreographers, which I'm the one in the room who isn't one. How do you make a fight be choreographed and yet seem spontaneous? I think that's hard. That's got to be difficult.
It is.
So maybe in the next entry you can answer that question for me because I'm curious about it.
I do also want to make a global kind of point because I think we're gonna end up talking about it in other ones. I personally count camera work as part of the choreography.
Yes.
So I think that's a very important element, and so
why is that? Because choreography can look different from different angles.
Yes,
Or?
Yes.
choreography can
Drastically.
You can make a shot, you can make a move work from certain angles and make it totally not work from other angles.
And that's the same choreography itself,
Yeah.
but it's
Right.
all how it's displayed.
Yeah. So in my mind, the camera person. The camera is always another.
Is as much of a performer as the actual
yes,
fighter.
exactly, exactly.
Some moves look very dynamic, but if you place the camera in the wrong angle, it can kind of suck the dynamic out of that movement. And you want to pick your angles that really, just like some angles don't hide selling a shot very well. If you're doing unarmed combat, where you place the camera really will show whether or not that move can be sold or not. And this is Saber, so you get a little more wiggle room because the Sabers actually do make contact in every strike. But even so, some angles will really show the power of a shot better than others.
Cool.
We should get the next one going.